Alrighty. So, I am feeling very tired right now. So I figure, why not play a game that has a lot of talking in it, so I don't have to say much. Ugh. Sensitivity is kind of weird. I am using a ball mouse, so I have to clean it a lot more often than I really do. Settings. This game has really sensitive mouse controls. Yeah, there's a very good reason we moved on to optical mice. But you know, if this were a dedicated XP setup, I would use an optical mouse. But I share this setup with my 98 rig, and you know, you kind of have to have a ball mouse for a 98 rig. Well, you don't have to, but yeah, but not near as much of a problem. At least I personally have never had. I personally have never had a problem with a optical mouse. Okay, how did you take, like, 3 shots to kill? Like, there were 3 shots that actually made contact with that guy. Also, my performance on this level is terrible. Well, no, one was a gut shot, which, I mean, fair enough. But yeah, there was at least one that was practically to the face. Well, where am I being shot from? I'm running at a... See, I don't have an FPS overlay. I don't have a frame rate counter overlay on.
NYPD, you on the roof. Drop your weapon and lie down. I repeat.
So I have no clue what my actual FPS is here, but...
It's Payne! He's coming down the stairs! Shoot the bastard!
Okay, boss.
Shoot the bastard!
No problem.
that's...
Drop your weapon and lie face down.
You know, I think I'm going to have to actually back out and reduce the anti-aliasing. Because the frame rate is getting unbearable. The heck is 3 sample anti-aliasing? That sounds really bad. Because usually anti-aliasing is in powers of 2. For multi-sample anti-aliasing, at least.
Drop your weapon and lie
Oh yeah, that's a lot smoother.
It's Payne! He's coming down the stairs! Shoot the bastard!
Hey!
Okay, boss, you got it.
No problem.
Doesn't really look any worse either, so... Win-win. The retail version of Half-Life 2 allowed you to set anti-aliasing to 6 of 6x, which is really weird. If I recall correctly, like, I don't know if it was so much a bug or that it just didn't work or something, but it's really weird. Like, anti-aliasing really should be done in powers of 2 for various reasons. And of course I turned the... I need painkillers. I can do that. Nope, not gonna break into song. Okay. Sorry, there's a, oh, who's it by? I think it's a 3 Days Grace song that comes to mind every time I think about the word painkiller. Well, actually, no. What comes to mind is the game Painkiller, which is kind of alright. But then I remember that Painkiller Hell and Damnation had a song called Painkiller playing during the trailer. Oh, for crying out loud. But the only song that I know called Painkiller is a song by 3 Days Grace. Come on! By the way, I have to mention, this is the easiest difficulty. Come on! It's really weird, my peripheral vision started picking up the preview screen. Oh my gosh! Stop killing me! Okay. Yeah, no, I actually looked it up because it's like... This gameplay is not wowing me. But I do want to see this game through to the end. I mean, this game is just rough, but it gets, but it gets a little bit of leeway from me because it was really, really ahead of its time. So, you know, I give it props for that, but dang, is it rough to actually try and play. Where am I supposed to go? He went up, so it doesn't make any sense. Dead cop. Also, what are these grunt sounds from? I know I've heard them before. Yeah. I mean, even Myst, which is a classic, is still pretty rough. Because it was the first of its kind. I mean, it fared better than this, I feel. It's also helped by the fact that it's a mechanically much simpler game. Like, it's a puzzle game. It was, what's the word? It was...
What the hell?
Who's firing? Of course I didn't. Yeah, mechanically, Myst was just a point-and-click adventure game, which had been around for a long time by that point. It innovated in terms of setting and presentation. Early 2000s level design. How I'm glad we are not, that we are past that. Where am I being shot from? Oh! There we go. Okay, so logically, logically, I'm supposed to go up. But I cannot figure out how I'm expected to go up. So I really need painkillers. Oh, can I... Okay. Yeah, I think right now my most accurate gun is probably... I feel like those guys were blown up by one of their own guys. But yeah, I think right now my most accurate weapon is probably the Deagle. Opening and closing the case. So down the fire escape or down the fire escape. Okay.
Pax Payne has nowhere left to go. We are very close to capturing him. You'll get a full statement then. Right now, I've got better things to do, ma'am.
That was Deputy Chief Jim Rivera from the NYPD with no further comment at this time.
Apart from his suspicious food habits, I figured Bravura to be one of the good guys. Fate had just dropped us on different sides in this. But when it came to capturing me, he was way out of his league. I had already ditched the cops a couple of rooftops back. For now.
Ready? I could really use more painkillers. There we go. Ooh, 3 painkillers.
Okay, this is it. Any moment now, Payne's gonna bust through that door with murder in his eye. It's either him or us. I whack the sucker!
Oh, shoot. That's the thing about bullet time. Sometimes you're just screwed.
It's either him or us.
Oh, they're all... Wait, where did you come from?
Any moment now, Payne's gonna bust through that door with murder.
Run on down!
Nice.
Open, goddammit! Payne! I'll kill you, you lousy freaking
And he just starts shooting into the side of that thing. Okay. I wish you could dual wield the shotguns. That would be cool. I actually really like pump action shotguns in first-person shooters. Almost kind of more than double barrels. Though double barrels tend to look cooler. I think pump actions probably give it the best cool factor to practicality ratio. And you arbitrarily took a lot of ammunition.
Cogniti ran out of steam in a dead-end alley with steam boiling out of the sewer grates like all the fires of hell were burning high beneath us. It was shakedown time. Where's Lupino?
Screw you!
Bad start, Vinny.
Ah! Police brutality!
I rate pretty high on that.
You can't just hurt me in cold blood?
Just keep telling yourself that. Listen good, Candyman. I'm not gonna be anybody's fall guy. I want to know where your boss is hiding. There was no glory in this. I hadn't asked for this crap. Trouble had come to me in big dark swarms. The good and the just were like gold dust in the city. I had no illusions. I was not one of them. I was no hero. Just me and the gun and the crook. My options had decreased to a singular course.
I'll tell you, just don't hurt me no more. Lupino's at Ragnarok, the nightclub. Book me, take me in, hold me to the freaking jail, just don't hurt me.
Your rights will be ready at your funeral.
Chapter 8, Ragnarok. Okay. I'm just gonna put this out here.
Ragnarok was Lupino's private nightclub.
Ragnarok is one
built into
word.
An old theater. I knew what waited inside. V-head junkies ready to explode in random acts of senseless violence. And Lupino's goon squad, the worst stone-cold killers this side of hell. Ragnarok was as inviting as a headache, flickering and flashing to a machine gun beat. The belly of the nightclub was a gothic theme park that began with bondage games and led to the nasty stuff from there. As subtle with its dark message as a cop killer bullet through the heart. Like father, like son. Just like Jack Lupino.
Oh. What the? Oh. It opened up a secret passageway, okay. Also, if there's a drug on the streets with a name
The book
that's...
had never been a bestseller. Given the setting, I was surprised to find that somebody had been passing time reading. The paperback was entitled, The Age of Murder and Storm. The blurb on the back mentioned Norse mythos and Ragnarok, the end of a Viking world with a terrible winter that covered the earth in ice, when vile crimes were rampant and all humanity lost. I could see how somebody impressionable might get it into their head that we were at the end of time. I was also beginning to see what the nightclub and its owner were all about.
Yeah, if there's a drug named after something from Norse mythology, and there's a nightclub which is also named after something in Norse mythology, you'd think they'd be your first guess. That, you know, they'd have something to do with it. There he is. Oh, that's a grenade. These guys are about as grenade. Like, these guys are almost rivaling the what are they? Heku soldiers from Half-Life in terms of being really grenade happy.
What the hell?
Oh, what the heck? Yeah, dance! Dance! Okay.
Hey!
Seriously though, who threw the Molotov at me? Is there someone up there? There is. You know, that's really cheap. That's a really cheap death. Listen to that distortion on the low notes. Holy buckets, you were... Diving has a really weird arc to it.
Books on the occult had been piled on the table.
The
The room was stacked with light reading, such as Necronomicon, Witchcraft, and Paradise Lost. Old exotic titles like Malleus Maleficarum and De Umbrarum Reini Novum Portus. Books with pentagrams on their covers, all dealing with the occult and the infernal. Lying between stacks of horror videos and a couple of Ouija boards. The only thing I could take seriously was the thought of Lupino taking it seriously. He had been spending a lot of time getting intimate with the guy downstairs.
I've got to be missing something, right? Oh, there's a switch there. Holy buckets. Dang it. I meant to go into standing bullet time there, not...
books on the occult and piled on the table.
Nice. So I think this is the same company that would later do Alan Wake, which I did play, and similarly it was mechanically a mess, but story-wise kinda interesting. Like, I will say, I still think about that game, and that game introduced me to Poets of the Fall. So it has my respect for that. And if it is the same company, that would make this company kind of responsible for Poets of the Fall, because they got their start making the song for Max Payne 2, I believe. That's a cool shot. Yeah. Yeah, so it is the same company. This is... Oh, come on! You gave me the kill... Like, you gave me a cool cinematic kill move, so I thought there weren't any more enemies. Gosh dang it. And again, I have to stress, this is the easiest difficulty. But yeah, so I guess Remedy's thing kinda seems to be making cool stories with slightly questionable mechanics. I mean, I will say that at least Alan Wake's mechanics weren't at odds with the story, like it is in this game. Dang it, I need painkillers. This game, like, all the enemies are hit scan. Where did... What? How did I... What? Who killed me? That was bogus. Okay. Okay, in real life, people don't... That guy would not have seen me from up here. But no, this... Honestly, this is kind of exactly what I was talking about with, American McGee's Alice. How its saving grace was the fact that it, erred on the side of being too easy. Because when you have really jank mechanics or like the last thing you want your game to be, unless it's like the game's entire point, is to be frustrating to get through. Especially if you're making a more narratively focused game like this. Like, let people who are just interested in the story play it just for the story. I mean, of course, there's always going to be... Oh, that's cool. Of course, there's always going to be some level of difficulty. I mean, it's a video game. But I'm just saying, this should not be the easiest level, or the easiest difficulty. Chasers of the Slain. If the whole point of your game is to make it frustrating... Oh, that's not at all what I meant to do. Then, like, there are games like that, like QWOP, or Getting Over It with a... oh, what's the word I use? What's the word I use? Getting Over It with a pretentious narrator. For the heck of it, or for the sake of art. I mean... Or to be YouTube fodder. You know, just to get people buying the game to make YouTube videos. Which is... yeah. Okay, how... am I supposed to press something? Apparently, yes. And honestly, in the case of Getting Over It with a pretentious narrator, I kind of want to play that game, but I'm turned off by the pretentious narrator. Because it's like, yeah, I can see that the game's mechanics are, like, it's supposed to have bad controls, that's the whole point of it. But it does look kind of interesting to play. That guy's just going up the stairs, all the way up the stairs. And it's probably going to be... That was almost funnier than if it had been a Wilhelm scream. Okay, the question is, can I make this jump? And if I can... Oh. Oh, no. Here we go with that weird diving. Yeah. Let's try and get on the rail. There we go. Because I do not believe that you could jump that far. Chapter 9, An Empire of Evil.
The backstage area led to Lupino's inner sanctum. The hot air inside was like an invisible wall, thick with incense and something else, a sickly sweet smell that made you gag. This was the rotten core of the Big Apple. Lupino lurked somewhere ahead, like a spider at the center of his web, waiting. The vapors in the air started to make my head swim. Torn pieces of a letter lay scattered on the sofa.
Okay, this game's got my attention. Okay, what do you want me to interact with, game?
Punchinello had threatened Lupino in writing. The note had been torn to pieces, bloody fingerprints all over them.
Don't want you to think that one of my boys is not playing with a full deck. Shape up, Jack. We are running a business here. I'd hate to send the trio to strong-arm you.
The trio were the Don's notorious henchmen. It was obvious that Lupino hadn't been intimidated by the threat. Lupino's notes covered the table.
I tried to interact
Jack
with
Lupino was crazy, all right. The table was scattered with notes of demented arcane nonsense written in rusty blood. A mishmash list of demons, devils, and dark gods evoked.
Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Baphomet, Lucifer, Loki, Cthulhu, Lilith, Hela! Blood given to you all.
He was after that old Faustian deal. Your soul for power and fortune. Just sign in the dotted line with your blood. Lupino's notebook lay on the pedestal. Jack Lupino was crazy, all right.
Mythic wolves, let loose to devour the sun and the moon. Lupino is the wolf. I'm Mr. Beast, the big, dangerous wolf. I'm the end of the world man, wearing the flesh of fallen angels.
After Y2K, the end of the world had become a cliche. But who was I to talk? A brooding underdog avenger alone against an empire of evil, out to right a grave injustice. Everything was subjective. There were only personal apocalypses. Nothing is a cliche when it's happening to you.
True. I guess.
The flesh of fallen angels! Come to me all!
Oh, this guy's gonna be a boss.
Lucifer, Loki, Satan, Cthulhu, Lilith, Hela! Blood to you all!
We'll see, this guy has some conviction in his voice.
Reality.
Yeah, this is giving me boss fight vibes.
I'm the wolf! I am the wolf!
Sure you are, buddy.
It's coming. You have come. A witness to the end of time. It's now! I will rise to her side! I don't need the words! I'm beyond the words!
Oh boy. Where am I being shot from? come on. I don't have anything to shoot at guys far away from with. That was good English, Peter. Whoa, that was loud. Okay, are these guys just spawning indefinitely?
I had known there'd have to be a catch in it somewhere, and this one was the Empire State Building of catches. Lupino was pumped up and dying to go 15 rounds with a mutant alligator. And then he started this spooky monkey talk, straight from a bad dream. Mine.
I have tasted the flesh of fallen angels. I've tasted the devil's green blood. It runs in my veins. I've seen beyond a world of skin, the architecture of blood and bow and arrow. Death is coming! She is coming, and hell follows with her. This is the twilight winter. I am ready to be her son. Her time is now, and all who stand in her way must die! Die!
I think that guy's the best voice actor so far.
Die!
Holy cats.
All die!
I mean,
The corruption of flesh.
okay, I have to go through everything again now.
I'm the wolf, yeah!
I have no way to skip the cutscenes. So yeah, the visuals there weren't the best, but dang it, does this guy
It's now!
do crazed very well. Like, he has some conviction in his voice, man. Okay, you just walked into the fire out of your own volition. I'm gonna try my darndest not to use my Uzis, or engrams as this game calls them for some reason, until that final phase. Last guy. Oh, come on! Come off with that crap.
I've seen it. The corruption of flesh.
There's only so much I can do to avoid hit scan enemies.
I'm the wolf, yeah! I am the wolf!
And like, I have limited bullet time at my disposal.
You have come. It's now.
I have my sword off.
To her side. I don't need the word. I'm beyond the word.
Okay, you took 2 shots with a shotgun. Care to explain that? I really wish I could So this game is doing that really stupid thing that games do by default for some reason, where mouse up is previous weapon and mouse down is next weapon.
It's close. It's coming. You have come.
And so changing weapons is
It's now.
beyond
I will reach
irritating.
your side. I don't need the words. I'm beyond the words.
Oh, and of course I quick save just as I'm taking damage. Oh, come on! And again, I have to reiterate, this is the easiest difficulty level. Gosh frickin' dang it.
Hold it.
Hold it. Come on. I can't shoot you from that distance. Why am I... Whatever. Are there more pills?
Die! You'll die! You'll die! Now! All die!
Oh, so there are... Oh, fuck off. Frick off! Okay. There! You're dead!
When Lupino finally went down, I wanted to make real sure he'd stay that way. V was a bad monster. Turned them into friggin' zombie demons from outer space.
I think he's dead already.
Huh? And that's when it happened.
But dead or not, you've got the wrong guy.
In stepped this knockout femme fatale holding a gun to my face. I returned the favor.
Part 2, A Cold Day in Hell. Ugh.
Lisa Punchinello. Lisa Punchinello was the Don's wife.
Mona Sachs. Lisa's evil twin.
Your safety's off, evil twin. You might hurt someone with that gun of yours.
Lisa's the damsel in distress. I'm the professional. I'd blow you away without batting an eye.
Sure, and you can check out my credentials splattered all over this joint.
Jack couldn't have framed you. Not the state he was in. We're after the same slime bag. Angelo Punchinello's the one who murdered your friend and framed you with it.
You know this for a fact?
I've got my sources.
I don't have a clue these days. I just shoot them as they come. Who put a contract on the Archfiend?
This one's mine. I hate the guts of that sadistic wife-beater. Why not pool our bullets for this one?
I thought you'd never ask. My finger was starting to twitch.
How do you like your whiskey?
I'm easy, as long as you don't try to slip me a Mickey.
You're a real angel, Max.
It was good stuff. Tasted sweet as honey going down.
Nothing personal. Can't risk you going berserk and getting Lisa killed.
The nightmare was always the same. Violent shapes moving in darkness, old and ugly. The killer's mad laughter was a riddle filled with wicked innuendo. Somewhere, the baby was crying.
Oh my.
Max, no, please, Max. Why? I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Max!
Should have known it when we found you snoring next to Lupino's corpse. A comedian, huh?
The pictures were filled with good old times.
Oh my.
I really love to watch cartoons. Captain Baseball Bat was my favorite.
Oh, come on. I was just about to say, too, that I forgave a lot of this game's sins because of this section. But then you
No, please.
do that, but then you pull that. This is a fever dream section. You aren't supposed to be able to die in a fever dream section like this. This is still impressing me, though.
Should have known it when we found you snoring next to Lupino's corpse. A comedian, huh?
The pictures were filled with good old times.
Like this.
I really love to watch cartoons. Captain Baseball Bat Boy is my favorite.
You know, this is kind of. This section is kind of giving me American McGee's Alice vibes. I'm really. Oh, oops.
Captain Baseball Bat Boy is my favorite.
Gosh, freaking.
Captain Baseball Bat Boy is my favorite.
You see, this section is super cool, but they're ruining it. By making you do, like, precision platforming and all this crap. It's like, no, like... Just because you're a game doesn't mean you have to be gamey. You know? Oh, by the way, I'm basically following, or at least trying to follow, wherever the sounds sound the loudest. That looks like a dead end. And I feel like I have to re-emphasize, this is insanely impressive for when it came out. My complaints are more looking at it from a modern perspective.
No, please God, no.
Yeah, when it's not making me do BS mazes or precision platforming, this section is still good today, I think.
Slice them, dice them, shoot them full of holes, blow them to bits, vaporize them, disintegrate them. No matter what you do, they'll still be back, good as new.
Michelle's diary lay on the table.
Max, no, please, Max. Why? I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Murderer! You killed her!
Nothing like that ever happens in the real world.
Wait, what? Excuse me, what? So did he actually kill his
I woke up
wife,
in
or
bad
is that...
dreams. My head felt 2 sizes too small for my brain,
Max Payne. I envy your name.
and the killer was smiling.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Frankie the Bat Niagara.
Niagara, as in you cry a lot? He had a baseball bat and I was tied to a chair. Pissing him off was the smart thing to do.
Nothing wrong with a little laugh now and then. Take me, for example. I love to watch cartoons. Cartoon violence is a fascinating thing. Let's take a break. I need to take a leak and maybe grab a cold one at the bar. Don't worry. I'll be back to finish this off. And then, it's checkout time.
You play, you pay, you bastard. He swaggered out, and the door clanged shut behind him, locks clicking into place. Everyone makes mistakes. Mine hadn't been to crack jokes about the goon with the bat. He'd have cracked my skull regardless. It hadn't even been to trust a girl with a gun. I had blindly gone after the first bad guy on my hit list when I should have been aiming further up the ladder, at the head of the Punchinello family. I couldn't bring myself to be pissed at Mona. Guess I had a soft spot for her pretty face. But when somebody decides to play baseball with your head, you tend to get sore. They had dragged me back to the basement of Lupino's hotel. I was beaten, bruised, and blue. I felt like the chair I had broken to get free. All I had was Niagara's bat, sticky with my own blood. Without a gun, I'd be no match for Frankie's men. I'd have to play hide and seek with them.
Oh, don't tell me this is going to be a stealth section. Don't tell me this game is going to try and have a stealth section.
Hey! Hold it!
Yeah, a stealth section with clairvoyant enemies. Dang it, when this game is good, it's really good, but when it's bad, it's really bad.
What the? Hold it!
Like, why? This game is not built around stealth.
Yo!
Oh, of course. Of course.
Another newspaper caption for a murder scene.
What was that about murder scene, Max? Okay, so that way I don't think there's any way to get around there. Okay, what the frick do you want me to do, game? Like, seriously, what the frick do you want me to do? Yeah, and I'm gonna be spotted the moment I walk past here. apparently not. Okay. Oh. This is one of those kinds of elevators. Why is my bullet time bar so low? Okay, how the frick did you survive a point-blank shotgun blast to the face? Remember what I said about this game being... Fun. Okay. Oh, that up. Okay, where am I supposed to go now? Yeah, so I'm not sure how happy anyone's going to be with this hot take.
Things were fast going from bad to worse.
But yeah, I'm not sure how happy anyone's going to be with this hot take, but this is a really cool game, but a really bad game in terms of gameplay. In terms of story, I mean, the story is at odds with the gameplay, but it's good enough that I want
The men in blue
to...
had come and gone. They had decorated the place with chalk outlines and tied it together with yellow tape. The cops who had stayed behind were dead. Frankie, his boys, and I had the place all for ourselves.
So yeah, I'm just going to be playing the rest of this game in God mode, because if the game isn't going to play fair, why should I?
Just forget about it.
Forget about it.
Hey, just forget about it.
Forget about it.
That crazy witch, you should have heard her. She was a real scream when the boys caught her trying to cap the Don. Oh, that's friggin' bad. To the trio? That's even worse than what Frankie's doing to that poor bastard downstairs. She's gonna take a long time to die.
The mobster muscle on the phone was talking about Mona. Punchinello's trio were nothing but bad news.
It's Payne!
And possibly for the last time, I have to emphasize I am playing
More
on...
evidence that Punchinello didn't like me much.
The fact remains that all the victims so far identified in the Ragnarok shooting have been known criminals, many of whom had large doses of V in their blood. Reliable sources say that Max Payne was also among those killed, although no body has been recovered at this time.
Reliable sources. That meant somebody thought the Mafia had me, didn't want the cops snooping around anymore. The body would be delivered to them barely recognizable. Case closed. Don Punchinello had the power to be that reliable source, which was no news. But his news was old news. Framing me hadn't been enough. Don Punchinello had put a hit on me. He wanted me dead, and it had been important enough for him to give written instructions to Frankie about it.
Max Payne should die like a dog for the trouble he's caused. Frankie, I know I can trust you to give this matter the dedication it needs.
So, that's honestly all the time I have for today. Sadly, yeah, this game has personality, and it has some great moments like that Fever Dream section, as much as it tried to ruin that section. But yeah, so I do really want to finish this game, but I cannot be bothered to put up with this game's just asinine difficulty, so I am probably going to be playing the rest of this game with God mode. Unless there's some cheat I can find to make the difficulty less cheap. So, but anyway, as I said, that's all the time I have for today. Have a good night, and see you next time. Bye-bye.